Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to be flying with Pilot 280C using the voice modular. Also, I'm gonna create a route using only Pilot 280C with seeds and stars and airways and everything. I'll try to explain the best I can for you to understand how I do these things. So let's get into it. It's gonna be a long video. We are currently located at Lima Romeo Oscar Papa, that's in Bucharest, and we're gonna be flying to Lima Hotel Bravo Papa with fly factor Airbus 320. So I'm just gonna go inside here. We're gonna connect the ground power, set the chocks. We're gonna go to the fuel. We're gonna call the fuel truck. Now we are at the gate, but it's kind of far. So let's go ahead and just call the stairs. Just gonna use the left door, left front door, and also we're gonna call the baggage loader. You know what, might as well just set this. Let's see, I'm gonna set passengers, something like that. We're gonna click on set. Cargo, let's go ahead and add some cargo here. Alright, something like that. Fuel. Now for this flight, for this aircraft, you will need to know the fuel. So I went to this website, fuelplanner.com. I enter the departure and arrival airport. So this will give you in pounds, and then I went to Google and convert to kilograms. So around 6,062, that's how much fuel we need. Now obviously we're gonna add some extra, so let's see. Let's go with 6,516 kilograms. I'm gonna set that. Alright. Okay, so let's go here. We're gonna connect turn on the batteries. Connect the external power. I'm gonna set this guy's on to auto. Strobes auto. Nav and logo 1. Beacon, we'll do it later. Let's go ahead here and set the adheres to nav now. Now I'm not following any checklist. I'm gonna do really fast here. The point of this video is using Pilot 280C, so I'm not gonna turn on the APU yet. I'm gonna be here for a few minutes. Alright, so that's set. Alright, we got everybody here. I'm gonna back up here just to be a little bit quieter. Alright, so we're gonna bring the Pilot 280C. It's not connected. I'm just gonna click on connect.
Oto Penny / Henry Cohen. Information Victor 600 Zulu
let's
weather.
get that info now.
Wind 120 at 7, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 25, dew point 13. Altimeter 2991. Arriving runways 08 left, 08 right, departing runways 08 left, 08 right. Advise on initial contact you have Victor.
Okay. So to change the frequency, I double click on COM1. Now you can click on standby and then you will get this window. You can move this window if you have a secondary monitor. You can move it and have it all the time on. Once See, once I move the mouse out of this window, it's not, if you want to change the frequency, you make sure you click on the window and then you can use the mouse, I'm sorry, the keyboard to enter the frequency. I do have my Pilot ATC configured to change that automatically. Let's say the co-pilot changes the frequency for me. It's much easier, especially when you take off and you gotta do a lot of things. So you can zoom in all the way as much as you want, and then if you click on this icon, we'll jump right by your aircraft. There you go. Now I'm using default AI aircraft, so I'm gonna click on these two icons. This will show me the blue aircraft are the one on the ground. The red ones will be, let's see,
if you know the airliner
so you
code.
see one right there coming in. All right. So first things first, we're gonna go to config and change the call sign. So we're not flying with American Airlines, we are flying with Tarom. So actually you can come here and let's say all caps. I think it's ROT, right? ROT, let's say. There you go. ROT. It automatically enters the call sign for you. So it's Tarom. I'm gonna leave 123 the way it is. Select airliner, save, and then we can close this. To close this, just click back on config. When I made this video about Pilot ATC and how to add AI traffic, the default AI traffic, those AIs did not have a sound. Now there is another update. There's AIs. You can download AI traffic pack. I will have this link under the description of this video. Now this one will come with sound, so you hear the aircraft passing by you with sound. There's a lot of people, they don't know. Once you download that AI pack, it's a very simple installation. You go to your X-Plane folder, aircraft, and these are the AI. So basically these are aircrafts. They are designed just for AI aircraft, so it doesn't affect your frames per second. And like I said, now they're coming with sound. So you just install it into the aircraft folder. That's the main folder, and that's it. And to add AI aircraft, when you create your flight plan, right here, there's an AI aircraft option. You can add them. You can add, I don't know exactly how many, but 14. I only have 8. You just have to be careful how many you add. 8 will be just enough. And also, since we're here, let's go to config. Now if you fly with Pilot ATC and you do use the AI aircraft, I recommend you to uncheck these messages. These two options, text, ATC, and verbal. You don't want to hear the default X-Plane 11 ATC talking all the time, as you will hear giving directions to the AIs all the time. So I will uncheck that. Let's create a flight. Let's say we're not using the auto plan and you want to create your own flight, but you want to do it the right way by selecting the correct airways and seats and stars and all that. So earlier we got at this information so the departure runway will be 08 right of or left. I can see the AIs, they are going to 08 right. Now what I do check and make sure I do take off from the same runway, because I want to have that like a real-time, real-life experience by going where the AIs are going. First, we're gonna click on the waypoint and enter departure airport. In this case, it's Lima Romeo Oscar Papa. I'm using the keyboard. Once you click on this, you can type with your keyboard, and then we're going to Lima Hotel Bravo Papa. Enter. Now we have our departure and arrival airport. Now we are flying northwest, so because of that we're gonna set the cruise altitude an even number. So let's go to, let's say 280. There you go. So to change the cruise altitude, left click on cruise altitude, you get this window. And also you can change the climb rate, ground speed, and descent rate. Alright, so we have runway 08 right, and that's what I want. Now, as right now, it gives us runway 31 right. So we're gonna set that. The next thing, what I'm doing, I'm gonna try to find a seed from this runway that will take us somewhere in this area, right? Because that's where we have to go, like northwest. So we're gonna take off going east. So I'm gonna select a seed that will take us back like west, somewhere northwest, somewhere close to this line here. So I'm gonna click on seed. Now here's one thing to remember. If you fly with AI aircrafts and you wanna have the best experience, make sure you uncheck the forced departure runway. And then also at the star, let me close this and bring the star, you do have forced arrival runway, so make sure you uncheck this. And then also by approach you will have forced approach runway, so you make sure you uncheck all this. And why is that is because right now the departure runway is 08 right and the arrival runway is 31 right, but that might change based on the weather. So if you want pilot to ATC to give you the correct runway, make sure you uncheck this. If you don't uncheck this, like on seed, start and approach, if the runway change, the AIs will go to the correct runway, and then you're gonna end up going against the traffic. If you fly with AI traffic, I recommend to uncheck this, but make sure you do know how to use the FMC and change the FMC while you're flying, because you might have to. Let's go back to the seat. So it's right there, right? I mean, I can see it right away. This will be the correct seat to take. I mean, you can take even this one or this one. It doesn't matter. It does give, does bring us back like northwest. So I'm just gonna click on this one. You can do it from here. Just click on the blue dot. And alright, so we got seed SoCrew 1A with SoCrew transition. We're gonna click load. And there you go. So now we're gonna take off, make a left, go north, and then we're coming back west, and then from here we're just gonna go up here. Now the same thing we're gonna do with the star. This time we're gonna look for a star that it's around southeast of the arrival airport in this case. So let's click on star, and right away I can make this one bigger. So right away I can see this will be our star. We can use this one too, but let's go ahead and click on ebony. It's something it's not right. I don't think it works. No, it didn't. Let's go back here. I'm gonna select it manually. So runway 31 right, ebony 4R. There you go. Now it's working. And then ebony transition. Actually, yeah. I'm gonna click load. And there you go. It's something going on here. I think this will fix once we set the approach. Let's see. So the last waypoint on the approach was gonna be Vagat. Alright, so let's click on approach. Runway 31 right, we are gonna do an ILS. Let's say, do we have, yeah, we do have Vagat transition. Let's click on load, and there you go. So that's the star. That's the way we're coming in to land. The red line will be the missed approach. So we set the seat, the star, and the approach. Now make sure the star run under the star runway and the under the approach runway matches. Make sure that matches. So now this is not the correct way. After the C, we're just gonna go straight to the star. We have to use Airways. They call Airways. For those who are not familiar with this, Airways picture like highways. When you drive, you get from point A to B, you take the highway, this highway to that highway will take you to point B. Well, here's the same thing. They call it Airways. Let's say virtual highways. So we have to follow some highways here. Now, since we're flying a flight level 280, we're gonna use the high Ifr and Route Map. You have it here under the map. You see high and then low. We're gonna click on high. Now this one, it moves a little bit slow, so you have to be patient. Like every move that you do, it just waits a little bit. To zoom in and zoom out, you use the mouse wheel. These are the Airways, all these black lines. As you can see right now, we're just going over those Airways. We're just crossing them, and that's not the way we fly. Alright, so that's our seats right here. So cool. Right here. This is, we intersect this airway. So since we're going northwest, from here, the first waypoint will be this one. Definitely this one. There is no other way we go. We just from here, once we intersect this airway, we're just gonna go straight to this first waypoint. In this case, so here you can just see like the mouse became a hand. Just click, right click. The first time you might have to right click twice. So we're gonna, with the left click, we're gonna say add anima as a waypoint. So I know for sure, see now we're going to this airway. Now we're on top of that black line. Alright, so that's our first waypoint. In this case, that's where we're going no matter what. That's our first waypoint. And then from here, we're gonna have to figure out which way we're gonna go to get to our destination. Now what I do I go all the way to the end of the flight. So I go to the star, which is Ebony. And sometimes you might have to wait a little bit for the map to load. And the reason I do that, because I want to see what's the last waypoint on my flight plan, which will take me to the star. So you can see now the lines, you know, they might not be aligned perfectly, but if you zoom out, see now it is. So that's our star, and that's what we have to get. Now the only airway that take us to the star will be this one right here. See, I'm gonna try to follow with the mouse. See this one right here, and that's gonna take us right here. Now that's Daggett, right? Or Daggett. Not sure how do you say it. Now I can add it now, but then if I add this Daggett now and I go back and add more, whatever I add after Daggett will add it after, so the flight plan will be a mess. Now you can use this arrows to move them up and down, but I'm just gonna keep in mind that this is what I have to get. This is my last waypoint before I get to the star. So I'm just gonna keep that one in mind, that this is where I have to be. This is what I have to get. So now it's either you can kind of like visually and see an airway which will take us from our first waypoint. See, I can see this is the first waypoint that we add. I can see this airway Tango 746. Kind of it's like a straight line. It will take us up here and then make a left, and that will take us to Daggett. So let's do that. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can do it this way. You can come here and go up here, and then from here go there. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's fine. So for this video, we're gonna come here. We're gonna go north. So I'm gonna come to this waypoint. Where are you? Let me zoom in. There it is, right here. Ulmin. I'm gonna add that. And then from Ulmin, we're gonna come to Nepot. And then from there, and sometimes the map it's zooming out once after you add the waypoint. I don't know why it does that, but anyway, like I say, you have to be patient a little bit. So from, was that Nepot? Yeah, from Nepot we're gonna come here, right? Evrik, and then from here we're gonna come to Daggett. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I don't know if it's something that I set up and I have to go somewhere in the settings to uncheck something, because it's kind of annoying. So anyway, from Daggett, as you can see, we are going to our star, and that's where we're gonna do the approach. So there we go. So now we have a correct flight plan, and we are following Airways. You know what, I'm just gonna come out this map because it's moving slow. Alright, so there you go. So we have, so after Sokol will be our seed. We go to Enima, Ulmin, Nepot, Evrik, Daggett, and then Ebony will be the star. Now for flight factor Airbus 320, there is an option if you want to export this flight plan. I think there is a flight factor. Let's see, yes, flight factor flight plan. I just didn't figure out where to save this to load it. I don't think it might not work for Airbus 320 to load the flight plan, so that's why I couldn't figure out where. So for that, we're gonna close this. I'm gonna write down these waypoints that we add, we're gonna enter them manually. Alright, so that's our flight plan. We have the seat, we have the star, the approach, we have the correct airways. We can just click on file now. Before you do that, make sure you select, in this case, this will be an IFR flight. If you do a VFR, then you select the VFR. Now you can save this flight plan if you wish. Just click on save, and then we'll save it. You can just load it, and then the next thing you're just gonna change the runways and the seats and the star and the approach. That's it, and then everything will be set for you. Alright, so we filed the flight plan. We are done here with this. I'm just thinking to see if there's anything else. Nope. Let's and then zoom in here. Alright, let's go inside the aircraft and set everything else here. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and call it in. Make sure it is the same departure that we want. Term 123, ready to copy IFR clearance.
Taron 123 is cleared to Lima Hotel Bravo Papa. Climb via the SIC-1A departure with the SIC-RU transition, then is filed. Expect departure runway 08 right. Climb to flight level 170 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 10 minutes after departure. Squawk 6502.
6502. Okay,
Terram 123 is cleared to Lima Hotel Bravo Papa. Climb via the SOKR-1A departure with the SOKRU transition, then as filed. Climb to flight level 170 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 10 minutes after departure. Squawk 6502.
Taron 123, read back correct. Altimeter 29901, let us know when you're ready for pushback.
Altimeter 29901, Terram 123. Alright, altimeter 29901. I did write down the temperature and the winds. The winds were 120 at 7. So departure runway 08 right is the same. Initial altitude 170, squawk 6502. Alright, you know what, we're gonna go ahead now and start the APU. Gonna wait for the flaps to open. Okay, just gonna go ahead and start the APU. And once gonna go ahead and set the initial altitude to 170. Altimeter 29901, APU available. You can turn on the APU bleed, disconnect the external power. I'm gonna leave everything the way it is. We can come here and disconnect the external power. Actually, we can go ahead and we got everything set, so we're gonna close the doors. Take the chocks off. Let's go ahead and set the squawk 6502. 6502. It is set to standby. Let's set that to all for now. Auto 1 on. Okay, that's set. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and set the FMCU. How do you move this? Oh, there you go. Alright, so let's see. Initial page. Lima Romeo Oscar Papa / we're going to Lima Hotel Bravo Papa. Return. IRS initialize. Okay, I'm gonna go there, line on ref. Click again. There you go. Flight number ROT 123. Cost index, let's say 65. Cruise altitude, I said 280. Alright. Now we're gonna click on this button twice. No, once. I don't know what the weight boarding is doing. Not allowed. But anyway, so we set that. So that's the initial page. Let's go to the flight plan. I'm gonna set our departure 08 right via Socro 1A. Insert. And after Socro, now we're gonna enter the waypoints that I wrote down. I'm gonna go to Anima. And after that, Ulmain. After that, Nepot. And then Evric. Digit. Alright, insert. And then we're gonna go to our destination, arrival. So as right now, ILS 31 right. Okay, let me see. So ILS 31 right will Aben 4 and Vaga transition. Okay. ILS 31 right, Aben 4 arrival with Vaga transition. Insert. Alright, after Daggett, we're gonna go to our top of descent and Ebony. We're gonna clear this flight discontinuity. Alright. If you click on flight plan, will bring you up on top of your flight plan. If you click on airport, will bring you to the bottom. Let's go step by step, make sure there is no other discontinuity. It looks good. Let's set the performance page. Now this one, I'm going to use Topcat for that. Alright, takeoff, wind and speed. So the wind was 120/7. Temperature was 25. QNH, so that's 1013. Dry conditions, that will stay the same. Let's see our gross weight. And to check that, you go to this pad, the performance data, and then gross weight 67,732. 67,000. All right. Flaps config 2. Okay, we're gonna use flaps 2. Thrust config normal, air condition on, anti-ice off. We're gonna, oops, actually we are at LROP, Henry Kwanda, runway 08 right, heading 080. Alright, let's click on compute. Right. Flex 64. V1 and VR are the same, 152. V2 154. We can do that. Margin 25 meters. Okay, so V1 152, VR 152, V2 154. Transition altitude. Now we can get that info from here if we want. You can click on info, and then transition altitude, it is 4,000. Also you can get the weather here if you wish. Alright, so it is 4,000. Flex, we say 64. And then flaps, okay, let's see the flaps. The flaps configuration, you can get it from here. Trim position down 0.9. So we say flaps 2 slash DN 0.9. Let's go to next web page, destination. I'm gonna enter that when we get to the destination. Actually, there's one more thing you can do in case of emergency. You can set the secondary flight plan. So if I go there, go to initial page, and here I'm gonna enter our departure airport twice, and then click again on secondary flight plan. We're gonna click here on secondary flight plan and set the destination arrival. Let me bring the charts here. Usually you'd set for emergency the longest runway. So these are the charts. We are gonna take off from 08 right going east. So let's say in case, and then we're gonna make a left, and let's say in case of emergency we're gonna make a left again and come back, and let's say we're gonna, I mean the difference here is just it's really not that much a big deal. I mean the runway pretty much are the same. So we're gonna set to land in case of emergency runway 08 left. So let's say I'm not gonna do ILS, I'm just gonna select 08 left, no VR, nothing. So I'm gonna set the secondary flight plan again, click on that, and then we're gonna do the performance. Now the takeoff performance, we already set that on initial flight plan. So we're gonna skip this and we're gonna go all the way down, all the way to the last, well not the last page, but to the approach page, and then we're gonna enter the information from your departure airport, in this case Lima Romeo Oscar Papa, so it's Bucharest. So the QNH, it's 2991 29/91. Temperature 25. Winds 120 at 7, and that's why I wrote down this information. Transition level, it is 4,000. And if you want to land with config 3, you can click on that. It will be flaps 3, but we're gonna land with flaps 4 in case of emergency. Alright, so that's how you set the secondary flight plan. Alright, so let's keep going here. It's gonna be a long video. So FMC is set. Everything is set here. Let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna turn on the fuel pumps. Beacon on. Wings on if it's required by the airport. I'm gonna leave them off here. Alright, so that's set. I'm gonna call it in and let's get a clearance to push them back and push back. Actually, before we do that, I'm just gonna bring the FMC. Let's see the charts here, if we have any restrictions or something like that. So we are leaving Socru 1 departure from runway 08 right. So once we reach 800, we're gonna take off. Once we reach 800 feet, we're gonna make a left turn, and then Paxel we have to pass at least at flight level 4,500, and Socru to be at least at 110. Right, that's where we're going to Socru. Alright, so as you can see, the FMC, it is set correctly. 800, we're gonna make the left turn. Paxel, we are gonna fly or be at flight level 6-7, so it's as long as it's higher than 4-5 or the number on the charts, it's fine. And then Socru, let's see, Socru 178, so that's good. According to the charts we have to be at 110 and we're gonna be at 178, so that's good. Alright, I just double check with the FMC, make sure the flight plan is set correctly. Okay, let's call it in. Taron 1, 2, 3 ready for pushback and engine start.
Taron 1, 2, 3 pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved. Taron 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna use the better pushback. Let's set this. Only way out from here will be that way. Say we're gonna turn like that.
Alright, Captain, got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
Alright. Actually you can oh, okay, let's click on start pushback.
Great news, Captain, your tow's coming.
Alright, this one has a cab view. With the left mouse, if you hold it, you can turn around. Looks like Windows 98, but it's the best plugin, in my opinion. Now, of course, it's gonna go through any cars. And anyway, you can set this view if you wish. With the mouse wheel you can go back a little bit, have a better view like this. And once you set this view, it will remember for as long as you have
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
So let's see. So it will remember even if we have to jump back to the cockpit, something like that.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pens inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Alright, let's turn off.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Alright, we're gonna wait a little bit to clear the gate here. before we can start engine 2. It's good enough. Engine 2 on. Now if I go back to the cab view, it's the same view. You can see engine 2 starting. There you go. Engine 2 start. Let's do engine 1. Let's see how this one starts. Anyway, we can see. Let's go on this view.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Okay,
and we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Both engines on. I'm gonna set this guy to normal. Let's see what's going on here. Everything looks good. I can turn off the APU. Since we're here, we're gonna turn on the lights. Taxi lights on. Like I said, wings only if it requires by the airport. We're gonna go ahead and set maximum brakes. Flaps 2.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Spoilers arm. Alright, so he said it's gonna be hand signal on the right. It's gonna show us the pin. No. He has the pin. Thank you. Alright, so we are good to go here. Alright. Well, let's request a taxi. Term 123, request taxi to runway 08 right.
Tara 123, taxi to runway 08 right via taxiways Lima, Mike, Bravo, Alpha, hold short runway 08 right.
Taxi to runway 08 right via taxiways Lima, Mike, Bravo, Alpha, hold short runway 08 right, Terran 123.
Alright, so this is where we are. Lima, make a right on Mike, right on Bravo. Bravo becomes Alpha. Will take us to runway 08 right. Easy taxiway. Alright. I'm gonna click on config here. Not sure what this is. It cabin check. I'm not using the checklist, so I'm not sure what's that. Maybe you guys know what's going on there. Right.
Are your crew able to push you out tail through Charlie 4 south onto Bravo?
let's go. Actually, brakes off. Alright, let's do it. Mike will be here. I'm gonna make a right turn on Mike. Into the flight controls. If you want, pull up, pull down, neutral, left, right, neutral, and it's fine. I'm gonna test the rudder paddles after we make this turn. See if this works or not. Left, it's not working. It should work. It should lock the front wheels, but it doesn't. It didn't fix this. Alright, anyway. Flight control check. Let's go back to config page. He's holding shore.
Tower on 1, 2, 3, contact tower on 118.8. Enjoy your morning.
Tower on 118.8, Taram 123.
Set that to Tara. I'm gonna turn on the terrain on. Taram 123, ready for departure, runway 08 right.
Taram 123, winds are 125 at 6 knots, cleared for takeoff. Runway 08 right, caution, wake turbulence, squawk 6502.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 08 right, squawking 6502, Taram 123.
Alright, landing lights on. I don't see any aircraft coming in, so we're good to go. Just gonna keep it rolling. We do have enough runway here. Alright, let's go 50. Alright. Set that to flex. knots. Alright, we can go ahead and rotate. That was a jump there. Positive climb, gear up. Alright, passing 800, I'll make a left turn. Turn 123, passing 1000.
Terran 123, good morning. Radar contact.
We're gonna bring it to climb position, thrust level to climb. Flaps 1. Spoilers disarm. Flaps 0. I'm still flying manually. I like to fly
Terran
manually.
123, contact Bucharest radar director on 127.15. Have a good morning.
All the way to 10,000 feet. Let's call it.
Radar director on 127.15, Terran 123.
Terran 123, passing 4,000.
Terran 123, good morning. Radar contact. Terran 123, slow to 250 knots or less.
Yeah, I'm trying. I can click that on standard. I still have the lights on. Let's do that. Let's turn them off. When they're off, once they go inside, they do turn off. I'm gonna keep the landing lights on until we pass 10,000. Alright, so everything is set here. Can move that one to 40. Alright, 10,000. I'm gonna lower the nose slowly. Alright, something like that. Let's turn on the automatic pilot 1. Landing lights off.
Terran 123, contact Bucharest control on 118.17. Enjoy your morning.
Center on 118.17, take care, Terran 123.
Terran 123, passing flight level 110.
Taron 123, good morning. Radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 170.
Climb and maintain flight level 170, Taron 123. Alright. Okay, let's see what's going on here. We have like 2 aircrafts now, 2 on this side. Now if you want to move the map, see, like if you move it, it jumps back to your aircraft. But if you uncheck this, then you can move it whatever you like. There you go. So now the AIs will follow us all the way to our destination. Now there's a trick, as right now the AIs will fly on higher altitude. Once we get to the destination, they will still fly on a high altitude. After we land, that's when X-Plane 11 will see where we're going, as right now it doesn't know where we're flying to. The only Pilot 280C is the only software that knows where we're flying, and we know that, but X-Plane has no idea, and that's why it's not generating traffic at your destination. Now there's a trick, you can do that. You can set to have traffic before you land. So once you get close to your destination airport, X-Plane will start generating traffic, so you might end up being number 2 to land. And if an aircraft doesn't clear the runway, you will have to go around. So make sure you know how to do all that, because you might end up going around, or an AI aircraft will just go on a runway and you're too close and you have to do it. Now the AIs, they don't wait for you, they don't see you, they're not gonna fly away. It's not like X-Life.
Maintain flight level 240.
Alright, let's call this back.
Climb and maintain flight level 240, Terran 123.
Let's set that to 240. So it's not like X-Life. If you fly with X-Life, the AIs will fly away from you. The default X-Plane 11 AIs will fly through you. They don't care about you. But let's see how to set up that to have that real life experience using the AIs. So I'm gonna bring the AI traffic control. Now you can do this even before you take off. Let's say you've done filing the route and everything with Pilot 280C, you can do that on the ground, or you can do it after you take off. Now make sure when you do that and use this, if you bring the air traffic control, you have the auto tune recommended frequency unchecked, because if you do, this will, especially if you set up this while you're flying, this make sure it's off, because if it's not, it's gonna change the frequency into your Pilot 280C to the ground at your departure airport. So make sure this is off if you set it up the way I do now. If you do it on the ground, then it's fine, then you can change it back, but I recommend to uncheck this. So we're gonna click on file, flight plan, aircraft identification. It really doesn't matter. Now these are the requirements, so I guess we have to enter what aircraft we are flying. So we're just gonna we're just gonna enter the requirements. Flight number, it really doesn't matter. Now if you do this on the ground, actually it's gonna be already set your departure airport. You're gonna have that option here, but that's gonna be already entered there. So we're gonna enter our destination airport, in this case Lima Hotel Bravo Papa, and then flight altitude, again it really doesn't matter. I'm just gonna enter it anyway. We're not gonna enter anything here, and we're just gonna click on file flight plan, and that's it. Now we're gonna turn off that. So now what's gonna happen when we do the approach? We're coming in, we're descending, we do the approach. Once we get close to the departure, the arrival airport, it's gonna start generating traffic on the ground So aircraft will be taking off, landing at your destination airport while you do the approach. So like I said, you might end up being number 2 or 3. That's why it's important, and be careful how many AIs you add. If you add too many AIs, it might be a mess when you get to your destination. It's going to be so many AIs coming in and out that you're not going to be able to land. You're going to have, you know, it's trust me, I tried it and it's not it's not fun. I had to do like probably like 3 go-arounds. So 8 aircraft, AI aircraft, I would say it will give you a nice like real life feeling. All right, let's see. So we are going to 240. I can see there is an AI. It was just right there somewhere. And once we get to a higher altitude, we're gonna see them flying around, which does look more realistic. You do see the aircraft passing by you. So we're still climbing here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. So I explained right now is just generating traffic around us. Behind you, front of you, to the left, to the right. So all these AIs will go to a certain distance from you and then will disappear and reappear in front of you, or like I said, near you in any direction. I don't know if I can
123, climb and maintain flight level 280.
Alright.
Climb and maintain flight level 280, Terran 123.
Oops, not you. That was a wrong button. Come on, 280. There you go. That's what I meant to do. Alright. So for this flight, we can turn off the terrain. We're at a high altitude. We don't need that anymore. So I was gonna say I am not using any mesh. This is the default, as you can see. The only thing I'm using for this video, it's a FlyWithLua script. Actually, there's 2 scripts. So I got a better pushback, X camera, Maxx-FX. I always use this. I really like this. You see, this is the default color on the left side. This is my setup. On the right side, it does changes the color of your scene. Now you do have options here, like presets, but I use mine. The only thing I did, just add some saturations to the color, and you can see the difference. FlyWithLua scripts. So I got the water fix. We don't have that much water here. And then I'm using the X Vivid presets. It does change the clouds, the sky colors, and that's it. That's the only thing I'm using right now. I know there's Ortho 4XP and all that, but really it's too much work, and sometimes the tiles, they don't look good, to to be honest with you. They have different colors, different things, and you have to do this and that, and I used to do all that, you know, but I guess I'm just getting old. So there you go, you can see the AIs right there. Does look more realistic. There you go. Alright, let's see what's happening here. If you wanna speed your sim, say, especially if you fly like Europe to United States, or like ridiculous flight plans, you know, that takes like 8 hours. If, obviously, you know, I'm not saying, you know, that's wrong, you know, but if you have the time, you know, of course, you know, like, do it, you know, but man, you know, to sit 8 hours in front of the monitor, that's a lot. So, but you can speed the sim. There's 2 ways to do it. If your graphic card can do it, which I really don't recommend. I do have the 1080 Ti, GTX 1080 Ti, and that cannot handle. So if you hold control and press the letter T as a thumb, that's the graphic card. So I can speed up the sim up to 1.2, 1.3. Now holding control and press another T, I think you can do it like 4 times. Yes, so it's 4 times. So control, hold control. I'm on Windows, so I'm not sure on Mac. I'm not sure which buttons are gonna be, which keys are gonna be on a Mac, but on a PC, control, hold, control, T once, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. You press 4 times. That will be like 4 times faster, but my graphic card doesn't change, so it cannot do it. And then the 5th time when you press, it turns off. That's based on the graphic card. Now if you hold Alt and press T, now this is based on ground speed. Now this is how you can speed your sim. So again, here's, I think it's up to 4 times. So you hold Alt and then you press again. So you see it's like 4 times, again T 8 times, again T 16 times, and then off. Now when you do it like 16 times, you see like we are descending, and then in one point you see like
you have traffic
we
at
are
11 o'clock 7 miles at flight level 285.
we're climbing, so make sure
12 o'clock 9 miles at flight level 285.
So make sure when you do 16 times
descend and maintain flight level 280.
Come on, shut up.
Taron 123, you have
descend and maintain flight level 280. Taron 123.
So anyway, I think there is an option to somewhere here in let's say config. There's an option not to tell you about the traffic, but I don't know exactly where is that AI traffic. See here, if I uncheck this, that it will not tell you the airborne traffic. Let me
Taron 123, you have traffic at 9 o'clock 3 miles at flight level 330.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna just turn it off, and that's it. So once again, if you add a lot of AIs and then you have that on in Pilot to ATC, it will be telling you all the time where the traffic is and all that. So we're gonna turn that off anyway. So yeah, so that's how you can speed the sim based on a ground speed. Right? Just make sure, I don't know why it does that. When you go over 16 times, it tends to the aircraft to go up climb. Right, so what else? Well, if you watch the other video that I made about Pilot 280C, you can select the text, or let's say if you want to use something that you don't have or you don't know how to say it, you can bring this screen. So click on question mark, and then you have this speech assistant here, so you can, if you want to request something or information on how to say these things, and then you do have a lot of options here. You can select that, or let's say you want to do a report, and then field on side. So this, if you click on question mark plus, that will separate that window to a different window. So let's see, if I zoom, if I minimize that, then I have this window here. You can have it on the screen. You can move it to a different monitor if you have two monitors, and do it over there. And this is how you select, let's say you don't have a microphone and you're not using your voice. This is how you can select the text, and then just press on say it, and it will be the co-pilot calling in and all that requests and informations and reports and everything. Now, the way I have my Pilot 280C, when I do the videos, like it's a big screen here, and then if I click here, it will minimize, but will minimize to my secondary monitor to this. I don't keep the whole thing on my second monitor. I just want to have this in case something happens, and I'm checking to make sure the frequency they do change, and that's how I have it on the second monitor. Alright, so that will make it makes my life easier. Alright, let's bring the charts here. Let's go to our arrival airport, see what's going on. So as right now we are, let's go to the approach, now to the stars. So as right now we are coming to Ebon. Where are you? Ebony for right? Was that Ebony for right? Yeah, Ebon for right. Okay. So that would be this one, Ebon for right. I'm just checking if we have any restrictions, and I can see we do. So first we have to be at flight level lower than 190 once we get here, and then the speed at Bravo Papa 031 should be 230 knots, and then at Bravo Papa 535 at 210, and then at Vagat, which should be at 4,000, no less than 4,000. Alright, so that's the approach as right now. Let's see if we get the same approach or not. Now also, what I like to do, we can bring Pilot 280C. We're gonna go to info and enter our destination airport. LHBP, and then I like, okay, so transition level 10,000. Alright, so runway 31 right, it's the same as right now, but we'll see. Temperature 20, so I'm gonna write this down. 20, dew point 18, winds 356 at 1, 356 at 1. Altimeter 2988. And the reason I'm writing down this information, I mean, you can go to the ATIS frequency and get that information, but I like to do it a little bit earlier, especially when I record. Alright, destination data.
Expect the Avon 4 Romeo arrival with the Aboni transition for the ILS approach to runway 31 right with the Vagat transition at List for an international after digit clear direct Aboni.
Expect the Avon 4 Romeo arrival with the Aboni transition for the ILS approach to runway 31 right with the Vagat transition after digit clear direct Aboni Terran 123.
So after Dejit, we're gonna make a right, go straight to Aboni, so that's good. So let's go ahead here. We're gonna go to performance page. Even the FMC is telling me to enter that. We're gonna go all the way to approach phase, and now we're gonna enter all this information. QNH 2988, 29.88, temperature 20 Celsius, wings 356 at 1/1, transition altitude, it is 10,000 here according to pilot to ATC. We're gonna do a full flaps configuration to land. I'm gonna go to next page. These are the go run, everything looks good, so that's set. Alright, go back to the flight plan. Let's see, I'm just wondering if so when we get to 10,000 we're gonna slow down to 250. So the FMC seems like it's set correctly. At Bravo Papa 031 we are gonna slow down to 230, and then Bravo Papa 535 at 210, so that's correct. Vagat 4,550. It's still okay. We are over 4,000, so that's good. I'm not sure if this is maybe too high, but that might change. But let's see. That might change based on how we descend. Alright, so that's set. Let's bring this back a little bit. We can go ahead and set the altitude to 4,000 for now. That's where we have to be at Dejit. Not lower than 4,000. And everything looks good here. You know what, one thing I forgot, of course, the temperature minus 38. Should have the anti-ice on. Let's do it now. Well, we didn't get any message, so it seems like it's fine. And then let's see, how's the fuel here? It seems like it's taking more fuel from the left wing than the right wing. The way to fix that, we can come up here. You know what, let me change to this view. We can...
Taron 123, contact Budapest control on 120.37, good day.
Okay, we can click on X feed and then turn off the left pumps. Let's call it in.
Center on 120.37 Terran 123.
So right now it's gonna take more fuel from the right wing. So I'm gonna leave it like that until it gets to the same amount. Let's call it in. Terran 123 with you at flight level 280.
Terran 123, good morning. Radar contact.
Alright, so as you can see, this stopped, and then now this side it's getting lower. So I'm just gonna monitorize this until it gets to the same numbers. Just wanna make it even. So now it's taking fuel for both engines from the right wing. Alright, so once this changes to 1290, gonna go up. Alright, 290, it's gonna go up. Turn on the fuel pumps, turn off the X feed. And let's see. It's not gonna be perfect. Let's see. 1280 and 1280. That's fine. I mean, you're not gonna get it perfect, so that's fine. So now we stabilize that. Now it kind of takes the fuel equally from both wings. We're getting close to top of descent. Let's see what's happening here. Seems like the top of descent is kind of in the same spot. Pretty accurate with pilot to ATC. Yeah. Alright, so let's go to approach. Seems like 31 right will be the runway ILS. I'm just checking to see the go round altitude. That will be 3000. In case of missed approach, we're gonna make a right turn, so climb to 3000. After passing 900, we're gonna make a right. We do have obstacles, so we're gonna keep an eye on that. I'm gonna bring this one back to the star. New Auburn. Airborne 4R. Airborne 4R. Just wanna have this on the other screen.
Term 123 descend to cross Avoni at flight level 175, then descend via the ABON4 Romeo arrival with the Avoni transition to 4,000 feet altimeter 2988 at List Ferenc International.
Will cross Abony at flight level 175, then descend via the Avon 4 Romeo arrival with the Abony transition to 4,000 feet altimeter 2988 Terran 123.
Alright, so it seems like we have to cross Ebony at 175. Alright, so we might have to descend a little bit faster. So we're gonna keep an eye on the speed here. Alright, so altimeter was 2988, and I think that's what we set. 2988, yep, that's correct. Now what I did, alright, so maybe let me go back here and explain what I did. So we have to pass Ebony by flight level 175, and then the FMC was set for 205, I think. So what I did, I click on where the Ebony was on the right side here, and I enter FL flight level 175, and then activate, and then let's make sure that everything stays the same. So based on that, everything changed. So now see a Vagat we are at 4,460. So according to the charts, we are good. Alright, let's close this. And just keep an eye on the speed here when you have to descend rapidly. It seems like everything is fine. The speed is stable. We are descending. Looks like we are gonna be at Ebony at 175. So it's all good in this case. If not, if you're catching speed, just use the spoilers.
Term 123, contact Budapest approach on 119.5. Have a good morning.
Approach on 119.5, Term 123. Term 123 at flight level 180.
Terran 123, good morning. Radar contact. Continue descent via the Avon 4 Romeo arrival for the Isles, approach to runway 31 right with the Vagat transition at List Ferenc International.
Continue descent via the Avon 4 Romeo arrival for the Isles, approach to runway 31 right with the Vagat transition, Terran 123.
So the Lua script, the Vivid script that I was talking about, they are the default clouds, but the Lua script and the Vivid changes that to look, to have a better look, you know, it does look more realistic. So alright, let's focus here. Let's see what's going on. Still descending, speed are good. Alright. Seems like we're gonna go through the clouds, which is good. Actually, I like that. Let's see how it looks when we get inside the clouds. They do look promising, that's for sure. Let's see how it looks from where's that view? Not this view. This view. Yeah, I say this script is very good. Let's see on the other side. Oh, we are in the clouds now, so and it's raining, I guess. Now these raindrops are from Fly Factor, the aircrafts. Emulates that. Alright. What's going on here? We are slowing down, we're getting close to 10,000. You can see we start slowing down. Let's see, did pilot it? I mean, X-plane generate traffic? Yeah, I can see that. This guy is at 1066, so he just took off. So it's just taking off from the runway, as you can see. I think this airport is set up for takeoff runway from this from 31 left, and then landing on 31 right. Let's see what's going on. This guy is at 3,300, so it's definitely coming in and land. So there you go. Now we have traffic at the destination airport. This guy is landing, these two guys are taking off here, and then we have some here flying. Maybe this one does the approach, even this one maybe is doing the approach. So there you go. Now for some reason Pilot to ATC, it doesn't generate the traffic on the ground here. Although this is selected, this might be a glitch or something, but it's definitely they are taxiing, because you saw these guys are taking off. So alright, let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna set that to 2988. There you go. Actually, let's turn on the landing lights. Kind of late, but I was too busy with pilot to etc. Now we should slow down here to, what's that, 230. There you go. We are slowing down. And there you go, 230. Next one will be 210. Alright. Let's see. Alright, let's go back and pay attention to this, to our flight. Any terrain, we can turn on if you have any terrains. I think here is pretty flat, so you don't need this. I'm gonna turn it off. The flaps 1, if we flying at 250 knots, which we have flaps 1, gonna be here at 210, so we're gonna set the flaps to 1. Click on ILS. Let's do flaps 1. We activate the approach phase. Does it do it automatically here, or do we have to do it manually? I'm wondering. Let's leave it like that. Let me see if it does it automatically or not.
Terran 123 altimeter 2988 cleared for the Isles, approach to runway 31 right with the VAGA transition at List Ferenc International.
Altimeter 2988 cleared for the Isles, approach to runway 31 right with the VAGA transition Terran 123.
You know what, I'm just gonna do it manually. Let's activate the approach phase. Now we're gonna click on approach. Let's see. Just wanna get localized here. I'm gonna slow down now. So we can turn these guys on. NTIs, let's see, do we need NTIs? Nope. We can turn them off. Here we can set flaps to, oops, right on the limit.
Terran 123 altimeter 2988 at List Ferenc International Contact Tower on 118.1, good day.
Alright.
Altimeter 2988 tower on 118.1 Terran 123.
So let's see. Terran 123 inbound at 4000. Request ILS approach to runway 31 right.
Terran 123 good morning. Radar contact. Continue number 2 for ILS to runway 31 right, call when established on final.
Continue number 2 for ILS to runway 31 right, will call when established on final. Terran 123.
So as right now I can see 2 more aircraft, so we're number 2 right now. Okay, let me lower the gear here. So let's bring the pilot to ATC. See, like we got that guy right there, that was number 1. As right now we're like number 2, but these 2 guys are too close to each other. Now one of them is gonna land, the other one probably is gonna, I mean for sure is gonna go around. It seems like we have enough distance here, so we'll be able, hopefully he's gonna clear the runway. So as right now we're gonna be, it's gonna probably, let's say maybe number 2 or number 3. Well, we'll see how it's gonna say. But as you can see right now, this guy is landing. These 2, one is gonna go around, one is gonna land, and then we're gonna be next. So, and I guess it's raining. So we're gonna call it in when we are established on final. Just gonna wait for the glide scope to capture us. I think I did lower, I shouldn't stay on flaps 2 maybe, I mean 1, yeah 2, no we are on 2. Anyway, don't judge that. Alright, glide scope, come on buddy. The square should disappear. There you go. So it did capture us, now we should start descending. And we are. One thing I forgot to show you, like how to select the text. So this is how you do it. So this is a report approach, establish on final for ILS. You select the text and then you click save.
Terran 123 established on final for ILS runway 31 right.
Terran 123, you are number 3 for landing. Winds are light and variable. Cleared to land runway 31 right.
Alright, so we're cleared to land
runway 31 right, Terran 123.
So one of them is, right now we're number 3 because there's 2 of them right next to each other. So one will go around. It looks like we have enough time, so we're gonna do we're gonna land on the first attempt. Hopefully I don't screw up anything here. So that guy landed. Did he land or something else? But anyway, these 2 guys are just getting close. We can't see anything in front of us, but let's get the wipers on. Alright, let's set everything here. I'm gonna use anti-brakes low. Let's set automatic pilot to on. Go around, altitude will be 3000. Flaps, it's gonna be full. Let's do flaps 3 now. So what's going on here? Can you see? Now it's a mess. Now it shows me all these aircraft. But this guy is landing. Is this guy landing too? Or maybe it's just a glitch. See, now it shows me all this ground. Nah, this guy is just a static. He's not there. So he is just cleaning out. Alright, flaps full. Let's see if we can see it visually. Yeah, it seems like runway is clear. Alright, am I gonna screw up something? Let's do it manually. I'm gonna take a risk here. Reverse green.
Terra 123 exit runway when
80 knots. I'm gonna exit here and just brake a little bit fast because I don't want to go all the way down. Alright, so I'm gonna call in when we exit. Flaps 0. Oh, we're still on reverse. Alright, there you go. Turn 123 clear of active.
Taram 123, welcome to List Ferenc International Contact Ground on 121.9er. Have a good morning.
Alright.
Ground on 121.9er, Taram 123.
Let's turn off those wipers. Alright, we're gonna contact ground. Alright, we're gonna stop here. Start the APO. I'm gonna set the lights to taxi. This guy's off. Retract. I'm gonna wait till flaps open. Start APU. Now one thing, pilot to ATC will not see if an aircraft is parked at a gate. I wish they will fix that, especially when you have the parked aircraft at the gate. So I'm gonna just go like this and request a gate. Let's see which one. That's where we are. Maybe we're gonna come here and let's see. No gates available? Come on. Oh, right here. Let's see, we're gonna park at Romeo 227. So let's see if we can request that. Alright. Romeo 227. Taram 123, request taxi to gate Romeo 227.
Taram 123, taxi to gate Romeo 227 via taxiways Path 4, for Path 3, for Path 2, Whiskey 2.
Papa 4, Papa 3, Papa 2, Whiskey 2. Papa 4, Papa 3, Papa 2, Whiskey 2. Okay.
Taxi to gate Romeo 227 via taxiways Papa 4, Papa 3, Papa 2, Whiskey 2, Terran 123.
Oh, that's the briefing. Let's see. I think that's where we are at Yankee. Apron 2, Papa 2, Papa 4, Papa 4, Papa 3, Papa 2, Papa 4. I don't know if this is set correctly. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, I see. Papa 4, Papa 3, Papa 2, Whiskey 2. Okay, so it is correct. Okay. So we are... Oh, I don't think we're... Yeah, we gotta be a Yankee. So I guess we're gonna make a left and go to Papa 4 here. Yep. Seems like that's what we have to do. Are we a Yankee? Let's see. Of course I parked. Let's go back here. Where are we? Yankee. Yeah, we're gonna make a left. Come here. That's Papa 4, Papa 3, Papa 2 Whiskey. Okay, let's do it then. Weird, but anyway, we're gonna do it that way. I don't know why it tells me to make a left here. Anyway, should just tell me to go straight, make a right. Anyway, let's do it the way he said. Papa 3. Or I do use the, forgot to tell you, I do use the airport environment. Oops, not you. That's why the concrete and everything else looks much better, because I'm using the airport environments HD. Alright, so I'm gonna go to Papa 2. Let's make sure there's no other aircraft coming. Will be this one in the angle. And this will be Whiskey to the left. And I don't think the signs are correct. Maybe they are. No, I don't think they are. Alright, Romeo 227. our stand. Obviously I did say gate. I don't think it understands stand, so that's why I know this is a stand, but that's how you call it in. I think something like that, right? That's good enough. Right, parking brakes on, engines off. Oops, let's get the bleed on. Seatbelts off. Exterior lights off. I don't know what happened. The engine, yeah, it should be okay, right? APU it's on. Okay, there you go. We can turn the wipers off. Really? There you go. Adheres off. And so on. I'm not gonna stay to this. Anyway, you guys know the rest. We can come here. Services, chucks on. It's called stairway. Left, back and forth. We can call everybody. Let's call everybody. And fuel truck. We don't need the fuel truck. We just arrived. Anyway, that's it. So there you have it. This is how you fly with Pilot ATC and do everything. I hope you guys like it. Until next time, happy flying.